Most people believe that those who avoid crowds are shy, socially anxious, or weak. That belief is wrong, very wrong. In reality, many people who dislike crowded places are not afraid of people, they are deeply aware of themselves. They notice what others ignore, they feel what others numb themselves against. They sense shifts in mood, tone, and intention long before words are spoken. Crowds don't overwhelm them because they lack strength. Crowds overwhelm them because their nervous system is finely tuned. And in a world addicted to noise, overstimulation, and constant social validation, that kind of sensitivity looks like a flaw. But Stoic philosophy and modern psychology tell a different story. This video is not about avoiding people. It's about understanding why certain minds require space to remain powerful. And more importantly, how to turn that trait into an advantage. The Stoics were not antisocial, they were anti-chaos. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he repeatedly warned against losing oneself in the crowd. Not because people are bad, but because unexamined proximity erodes self-command. Crowds dilute individuality. In large groups, emotions spread faster than reason. Anxiety becomes contagious. Desire multiplies. Impulses override judgment. The Stoics understood something modern psychology later confirmed. Humans unconsciously synchronize with nearby nervous systems. When you step into a crowd, you are not just entering a space. You are entering a field of emotional signals. For the highly self-aware individual, this feels invasive. They notice the tension, the impatience, the false confidence, the suppressed frustration. Their nervous system stays alert, not out of fear, but out of perception. This is not avoidance. This is self-regulation. Modern neuroscience explains what the Stoics sensed intuitively. Some people process sensory input more deeply: noise, movement, facial expressions, micro shifts in tone. All of it is registered. Crowded environments bombard the brain with competing conversations, rapid visual motion, unpredictable social cues, constant evaluation pressure for certain nervous systems. This triggers cognitive fatigue. Not panic, not fear, fatigue. The brain spends more energy filtering unnecessary data, leaving less energy for clarity, creativity, and emotional control. This is why some people leave crowded places feeling irritated, drained, disconnected from themselves. It's not social weakness. It's high sensory responsibility, and when that responsibility isn't respected, burnout follows. Here's something rarely discussed. People who are comfortable in silence often make others uncomfortable. Why? Because silence forces self-awareness. Crowds provide distraction. Noise offers escape. Constant interaction prevents introspection. Those who avoid crowds are often people who cannot lie to themselves for long. They sense when conversations are shallow, when laughter is performative, when connection is transactional. This threatens group dynamics, so society labels them antisocial, cold to serious, but in truth, they simply refuse to outsource their emotional regulation to the environment. That independence is rare, and rarity always attracts projection. This has nothing to do with being introverted or extroverted. It's about energy economics. Some people gain energy from stimulation, others preserve energy through selective exposure. Crowds demand constant micro-adjustments, monitoring facial expressions, adjusting tone, managing social positioning. For the self-aware individual, this feels like a necessary expenditure. They ask often unconsciously, is this exchange meaningful or merely loud? When the answer is loud, withdrawal becomes logical. This is not rejection of others. It's protection of inner resources. And protected energy creates presence. Here's the paradox. People who dislike crowds often carry strong attraction energy. Not the loud kind, not the performative kind, not the kind that demands attention, but the kind that pulls quietly. Why? Because they are not trying to impress everyone. They don't enter rooms scanning for approval. They don't measure their worth by reactions. They don't inflate themselves to be seen. And because of that, they are seen. Most people in crowds are busy projecting, curating, performing versions of themselves they hope will be accepted. But those who dislike crowds often opt out of that silent competition. They don't compete for attention. They don't mirror group behavior. They don't adjust their identity to fit the emotional temperature of the room. They don't chase validation like oxygen, and that alone makes them rare. When you stop competing, something unusual happens. You become unpredictable. Crowds run on imitation. One laugh trigger another. One opinion multiplies, one trend spread, but the person who remains centered, who does not rush to agree or disagree, who listens more than they speak, that person breaks the rhythm. Their calm stands out in chaos. Not because they demand attention, but because attention rests on them. Their stillness creates contrast, and contrast is magnetic. Think about it. A single candle in a dark room feels powerful, but a single still person in a restless crowd feels even stronger, because stillness suggests control. And control signals safety, and safety attracts trust. When they speak, people listen. Not because they speak louder, not because they speak more, but because silence has given their words density. In a crowd, words are cheap. Everyone is talking, everyone is expressing, everyone is reacting. But when someone speaks rarely, deliberately, and without urgency, each sentence feels intentional. People subconsciously think, if they waited to say this, it must matter. This is not manipulation. This is presence economics. Scarcity creates value. And silence is the rarest currency in a noisy world. When they enter a room, they don't dominate it. They anchor it. Dominance demands energy. Anchoring provides stability. Dominant people push. Anchored people ground. And crowds, whether they admit it or not, are always searching for grounding. That's why people gravitate toward them without understanding why. Why conversations drift in their direction. Why eyes return to them even when they are quiet. They are not trying to lead, they simply are. And that presence is remembered. This is why such individuals are often remembered. Even though they speak less, even though they do less, even though they reveal less, memory favors impact, not volume. This is the turning point. If you hate crowded places, stop forcing yourself to adapt. Stop trying to become someone louder, faster, more socially aggressive. That path leads to exhaustion and self-betrayal. Instead, design your life intelligently. Not around avoidance, but around precision. Life hack 1. Timing over avoidance. Choose timing over avoidance. This is not about hiding. It's about strategy, early hours, off-peak schedules, strategic presence. Crowds are not evil. They are inefficient. The Stoic does not fight inefficiency. They move around it, go when others are absent, speak when others are silent, arrive before noise takes over. You gain the same access, without the same cost. Life hack 2. Limit duration, not exposure. Limit duration, not exposure. This is critical. You don't need to stay to prove strength. Strength is not endurance. Enter, observe, extract value, exit. Crowds drain energy exponentially, not linearly. The first minutes are manageable, the later ones are costly. Leaving early is not weakness, it's energy literacy. Life hack 3. Recovery rituals. Create recovery rituals. Silence after stimulation restores power. Most people stack stimulation on top of stimulation. Crowd equal noise equal screens equal more noise. And they wonder why they feel empty. You must close the loop. Quiet rooms, slow walks, intentional stillness, not as escape, but as recalibration. Silence is where your nervous system resets its authority. Life hack 4. Positioning is power. Control positioning. Edges of rooms, near exits, clear lines of sight. Physical autonomy equals mental autonomy. When you know you can leave, your body relaxes. When your body relaxes, your mind sharpens. This is not paranoia. This is self-command. The Stoics believe freedom begins with optionality. Life hack 5. Make calm your signature. Let your calm become your signature. Don't explain it. Don't defend it. Don't dilute it. People will approach you on your terms. They always do. Because calm is rare. And rare things attract attention without effort. This is Stoic practicality, not isolation, not resistance, not superiority. Control. Control of energy. Control of exposure. Control of choice. There is one caveat. Avoidance becomes unhealthy when it is driven by fear rather than clarity. So ask yourself honestly, do I avoid crowds to protect energy or to escape discomfort? Do I choose solitude or does it choose me? These questions are not accusations. They are calibration tools. Stoicism teaches balance. Strength is not avoidance. Strength is choice. The goal is not withdrawal. The goal is sovereignty. The ability to enter and exit at will, to engage without losing yourself, to be present without being consumed. In a loud world, silence is power. In crowded spaces, awareness is armor. If you dislike crowds, stop apologizing for it. You are not broken. You are not antisocial. You are not behind. You are simply tuned differently. And when you learn to respect that tuning rather than override it, you move through life with clarity others rarely experience. If this resonated with you, you already know why. Leave a comment. Do crowds drain you or sharpen you? Subscribe if you value depth over noise. Because the strongest minds don't shout, they observe.